Aquarius, welcome to your hopes, fears, and reality spread. As per usual, you can click on the description box below and it talks about the significance of the spread and the placement of each card. And yesterday I uploaded a video that explains how I utilize tarot to work with light and shadow. So if you're interested in understanding the readings in a little bit more depth and the purpose of them, that video is there for you. Aquarius, you are hoping to soften the blow of some very difficult news to a third party. So basically, you have a connection with somebody, and then there's this other person or other entity that's constantly interfering with the connection, and you're really hoping to come up with a way to not necessarily push that person away, but to make sure that person understands the boundaries that you need for your connection. So let me repeat my initial statement, or as close to it as I can. You are looking to soften the blow in order to set a boundary with a third party. So you want the connection with you and this person to continue with just you and this person. And you want that other entity that's there to be able to step back and give you guys your space. Your fear in this particular situation is that if you don't package this information just the right way, that you will be very, very offensive, or that it will lead to an argument that will actually create a divide between all three people, all the parties involved. You recognize that in order for two people to work on something and for you to ask one person to step back, you're recognizing that there is this situation in which all three parties have their hands in something, and asking that one other person to step out could cause a rift with all parties involved. The reality of the situation is you have an emotional tie to this, and this particular relationship that you're dealing with is very much tied to your own personal growth. So it's almost like you need to focus on just these two people. Huh. All right. The other party that's interfering is causing things to is so here's what's going on. If you don't cause a rift in order to bring two people closer and send a third person out, then your fear will come true. Eventually the conflict will be so much that everything will fall apart, and nobody intended to steer the ship in that direction. So it's kind of like everybody here has good intentions, but the outcome affects two people more than anybody else. So you need that space to work with those two people who it affects the most. One of those people is you, and your personal growth and your personal feelings are very, very much attached to what's going on with just these two people. The third person doesn't necessarily need to be there in your eyes. It's not that you don't care for this person, but they just don't need to be in this particular situation because you and another person have to make a decision for forward movement. The truth of the matter is that you know exactly what you need to do and exactly what you need to say. But just like the message, I think there was a message for you last week or the week before that talked about how you say things to people. And that's what you're recognizing here, Aquarius. You recognize that when you set boundaries, you tend to be a little bit harsh. You tend to come off as very direct and stern. And sometimes that makes the other person kind of push back. What you're trying to do is you're trying to package this information to explain the situation to all three parties involved, what relationship needs to work on and for what purpose, and who actually needs to step back. But you don't want to push this person away forever. So you're really trying to put on a political face in order to convey the information that you need without being offensive or hurtful in some way, shape, or form. Ooh. Man. If this is a personal relationship, oh wow, these two fell out. Yeah, see, you're you want to let go of this conflict between parties, but you want to hold on to the one thing that's most important. So you're doing this for the better of the group. Um, if this is a personal relationship, it might be easier to define than if it's a vocational relationship. So it seems to me that if this is a vocational relationship, you really need to go and rely on the company's policies, standards, and values that have already been set in expectation and just remind everybody what their role is. If this is a personal relationship, you have to just remind every person this is my relationship with you, this is my relationship with you, this is your relationship together. Right now, we need to work on this portion of us, and we don't want to cut you out completely. So you're looking for a very political and polite way to express these ideas to people. I would say just go ahead and give it a little bit of time and feel it out, because it seems like you're doing the right thing for all the right reasons in order to maintain your personal growth on a very emotional topic, something that's very, very close to the heart. So, Aquarius, I hope you found a message that serves your highest good, and I will see you next time.